What are sexual roles? Well, there's only three to pick from, and the reason for that is when God made human beings, He only gave us three tasks. He said subdue, He said fill, and He said rule. So when you're looking at the sexual roles we get to play, you're either the subduer, the filler, or the ruler. Now you do have all three of these natures. You can do all three, but it's most effective within a relationship that you pick one as your expertise, you allow your partner to pick one as their expertise, and then you come together on the third as equal creative partners. So sexual roles follow the three roles given to humanity by God. So how to create sexual roles? And this is where we always want to go, right? If you know, sure, I'm here to subdue, fill, and rule. How do I do that? Well, first, you have subduing through actions. The subduer is the individual who uses actions most intently within the sexual union. So if you're a male subduer, your actions begin by creating the scene, separating out all other people, and creating this scene, this arena for the sexual union to take place. It is a separation. You're pushing out all other influences. And then with your partner, you're pushing your nature in to your partner. That's the masculine subduing. However, the feminine subduing is similar, but in a unique way. Instead of pushing out, the feminine subduer is pulling in. She's pulling the man into her, even the environment, bring it all into a singular union of oneness. That's her nature as the subduing woman. However, you might be the filler. Now, a filling man uses emotions. What he does is he creates the emotion inside of himself, and then he pushes it into his partner. He's pushing out her emotions at that same time and injecting her body with his created emotions. But the woman filler, the feminine form of the filling, is different. She's not pushing her emotions into her partner. Instead, she's pulling him into what she's already feeling. She's the host for the feelings, and she wants the man to come and be filled with her feelings. However, if you're the ruler, you're going to use thoughts. You're going to create particularly an image. So the male ruler creates the image of the event, the entirety from beginning to end. He wants to see it all in his mind and then rule over the proceedings towards the creation of that image. So he's pushing that image out from his mind and into the physical experience that they're going to have. However, the feminine ruler does things differently. She's not going to push her thoughts, push her image out. She wants to pull the man into her image, which she is the image. Within her, she's the embodied image itself of all creation, and she wants this oneness to take place inside her image, and she wants the man to get lost there, and this is all good. So you subdue through actions, you fill through feelings, and you rule through thoughts. So playing a sexual role is about being a skillful creator. That's the underlying purpose. Sure, it's a wonderful experience. Sure, there's the creation of children. But in order to bring forth children in an amazing experience, you need to be a skillful creator. And being more intentional in the cultivation of skills is where sexuality makes a lot more sense. So why create sexual roles then? Well, first is for skill growth. Normally we say it's such a wonderful event, there's so much pleasure, there's the expressions of love, the creation of children. These things are nice, but if you want your sexuality to have more purpose, you want it to be about skill growth. You're cultivating your mind as the ruler. You're cultivating your heart as the filler. You're cultivating your body and its ability to create actions as the subduer. This is more meaningful than just an event that happens sometimes and it's wonderful, but you don't know why it's wonderful. It just is. If you're cultivating skills, that adds another dimension. It enriches the experience. Beyond just skill growth, though, you're building and binding yourselves together in oneness. A lot of times in marriage, we have this delusion that one flesh is this mythical concept that either happens during the marriage ceremony or during consummation, and then that's it. It's done. You're one flesh now. Well, no. Oneness is always growing. So in each time you engage in the sexual union, you're binding your minds and your hearts and your bodies together into a more perfect union that hasn't yet reached perfection. You'll always strive for that perfection, but you'll never quite get there. That's called growth. You're continuing to grow towards perfection in your marital oneness, but you're never actually achieving it. And that's frustrating, but it's also fun. That's called growth. But as your skills expand and your ability to cultivate oneness between the two of you grows, then you can move on and grow a kingdom. So this whole world around you is dependent on expressing you and your marriage. So the more oneness in your marriage and the more skill you have in the mind, heart, and body, the more powerful you will be in crafting a glorious, visible kingdom in this world. And this is the plan God laid out. He made the man and the woman knowing they'd come together, develop their creative skills as the subduer, filler, and the ruler, and then build a oneness that will be the central engine for building a glorious kingdom. So sexual roles grow the creative skills essential for growing a kingdom. So who creates sexual roles? Well, the first group of people we have are the lovers of separation. And these are the men of the world. Men love to separate things. They're going to push out. That's what men do. We push things out. And we like this idea of sexual roles because, hey, look, you've got 3 responsibilities that God's given us: subdue, fill, and rule. And you each get to pick one. I'll be the subduer, you can be the filler, and together we'll rule. Or you can be the ruler, I'll be the filler, and together we'll subdue. However you want to play it, that's fine. But the man likes the idea, look, we've got nice little separate roles. And it's all, it works perfectly, right? And the woman smiles at this. She's very happy with the man and his separation. And then she comes in through the sexual union and blurs all the lines. She wants to unite the 3 roles together into a single experience. And why does she want to do this? Because God is one and He's all 3. He's the subduer, He's the filler, and He's the ruler. So she likes that the man will separate them out and give them each roles, but then she wants to bring it all into oneness, which will then inspire the man to come in and separate further. Why? Because that's what he loves to do. He loves to separate. So as soon as there's union, the man goes, well, we got to separate this out here. There's 3 roles. We got to break this down and understand who does what. And again, the woman smiles, but that just inspires you to create a deeper union, which blurs those lines further, which then inspires the next round of separation. So ultimately we see that the sexual roles are enjoyed by the lovers of the creative process. You're creating through separation and union, and this is God's way. God separates and He unites. So we get to experience that within this sexual union, and it's this wonderful realm that we get to develop our skills, our oneness, and prepare for expanding a kingdom into this visible world. So sexual roles allow for the creation of purposeful, living art, and the child is the most grand expression of this as the sexual union creates that child. But each thought, emotion, and action can also be a living work of art. And when you have skilled subduers, fillers, and rulers, when you or your partner are sharing those roles and your skills have developed to a heightened degree, every moment becomes an expression of living art. And that's the way God creates, and He's given us this wonderful arena within sexuality to explore and express His creative nature in forming living art.